Just like movies, I support the same concept that we have like PG, PG-13, R, NC-17. We do rate certain things, and I don't have a problem with rating things based on age. I do not think a third grader should read a book that deals heavily in sexuality. Libraries should have the same rules that our movie theaters do. Welcome back to Under Oath. Major publishers, along with Authors Guild, sued the state of Florida over HB 1069. That's a law that forced schools to remove books containing sexual content based on parental objections and mandates their removal within 5 days. The lawsuit claims the law violates the First Amendment, arguing it censors important literary works. Is it overly broad?
Oh, my goodness.
I'm not doing it to you. I'm not going to do it to you. We're not going to. Okay.
Oh, well, just so the audience knows why I'm freaking out.
Craig's wigging out because the coin flip.
They gave me the publisher side. Like I represent the people who want to put porn in school.
No.
That's the side they put me on.
Hold on. You know what, Craig? I'm taking it.
You take it then.
I'm taking it. You know why?
By all means, take the porn
because
side.
The flip is my way. I'll take the coin. I'm agreeing to take that side because
you want porn in front of our children. There you go.
I want everything.
You can't have everything.
I can.
You cannot.
You know why?
No, you don't know why you can't.
Hold on. The law is overly broad and infringes upon free speech. All right. Now, here's my problem. I agree with that 100%. And I also agree on the books that have already been banned. Huck Finn. There are a lot of books because they drop words that are offensive that we don't put in. Now, in this scenario, you're talking about the left not liking that you don't have books dealing with homosexuality or certain sexual issues. But the left also disagrees with books that they consider offensive in other ways, morally. So
every side wants to ban certain books.
So I don't think any ban should be unless there is a huge sexual component that is deemed to be outside the age level. I don't think, for example,
who gets to decide that?
We do.
That's
the school
the
boards do. The school boards do all the time. For example,
yeah, I don't want the school board deciding that.
Remember sex ed?
I do.
You had to take it, right?
Yeah. I had
what year?
Ninth grade.
Ninth grade.
Lyman High School.
Could you imagine taking it in fourth?
No.
Because we said you should have it in fourth grade.
But they got books that are way more graphic in elementary school libraries right now. Or they did until they passed this law.
Well, first off, if a book...
I think it's a great law, by the way.
Just like movies, I support the same concept that we have like PG, PG-13, R, NC-17. We do rate certain things, and I don't have a problem with rating things based on age. I do not think a third grader should read a book that deals heavily in sexuality. Libraries should have the same rules that our movie theaters do. I don't have a problem with that. The complete banning of books is offensive. Should a kid at 16 be able to read a book that deals with homosexuality? Of course.
Let's clear up with the language. When they're removing from a school, they're not banning it from existence. They're just not allowing it to be in the public library of a public school.
How do you feel about Huck Finn being booted?
I can understand the argument of wanting to ban Huck Finn because there's highly offensive language that was period appropriate at the time, back when we didn't know better. But I can understand now we do know better, and now we don't allow that stuff. Just like now we know not to show kids pornographic material. So out goes the Huck Finn, and out goes all the gay porn stuff.
Define pornography for me.
Come on. You're going to make me do the Supreme Court thing? I don't know how to define it, but I know it when I see it.
Sure. There you go.
That's what the Supreme Court says pornography is.
So pornography is decided by the community.
To the prurient interest.
Determined by the community you're in.
Community standards, yeah.
Community standards. So our governor deciding the whole state's community standards.
No, what the rule says, if a parent complains about the sexual content, the parent of a kid in that school.
Some Karen walks in and says, I'm offended.
Hey, do you want the members of the community to participate or not?
That's not participation.
You can call them Karen all you want, but they're members of the community.
That's offering one person the opportunity to ban a book because they don't like it.
It has to be sexually explicit.
Have you been on the internet lately? You think I'm trusting one person to make decisions for everybody?
Well, you think what'll happen is they'll start banning the gay porn books, and then they'll come in and say, okay, well, we're gay and lesbian, and we don't want books that have traditional marriages in them.
I did a book, and it was called Whore. It's about a guy who does anything for money. The name offended so many people that people automatically went to judgment over it. And I was in a comic book store one time, and they said, we can't carry this book. We have to put it in the back. I go, you have a comic book from Garth Ennis, who did The Boys, and it's a rat with a penis in its mouth right on your counter.
But your book's too offensive.
But my book with my name, Whore, was a bad one. And I'm thinking, I said to the guy, I said, but what about this? He goes, you're not Garth Ennis. So in the end, people make decisions based on whether they can sell it, who wrote it, but not actually what it's always about. So I don't like the idea of censorship. I don't like when people say you can't see this, you can't see that.
It's not censorship to remove a book from a limited
because one
scope.
person doesn't like it.
No, I'm talking about removing a book from a school library is not censorship.
There are characters and things that, and there are definitely movies that don't hold up anymore. Where you look at it like where guys are running around, you know, getting girls drunk and stuff like that, pulling Cosby's. Yes, we can agree on stuff like that. But books of literature.
Bad precedent set, you think?
I mean, think of it this way. Shakespeare, for example, did a book. He wrote a play called Merchant of Venice. And it is unbelievably anti-Semitic. The villain in the book is a Jew. They take everything from him. They villainize him. They force him to loan money. Then they take his daughter, and they do everything. And the heroes are the people who spit on him because he was Jew, because he's a Jew. Now, they say that has, how can I say it, literary value. And you know why it's a literary value? Because there are less Jews in the world to be able to shut something like that down than Huck Finn, who drops where they drop the N-bomb in the book.
Are you making an argument for the banning of books?
No, we shouldn't ban. Even I'm offended by it.
That's not true.
I don't say don't ban Shakespeare.
You should ban books. I'm going farther than Ron DeSantis. I'm going farther than the law. There are certain books that should be banned. Yeah, you shouldn't have access to them.
What about people when they say emotionally?
That's not happening, though. People say, oh, it's banned. Every, quote, banned book you can buy right now at any bookstore.
Banned where?
Or online.
But banned where? That's what I'm saying.
Banned from a school library.
Our schools.
Yeah, from a school.
Okay. So
you can buy the, quote, if it was banned, you wouldn't be able to buy it anywhere. The books aren't banned. They're just not handing Playboys to 7-year-olds.
Okay. There were books, for example, Huck Finn was a required read. It's now you can't have it in the school. So you can't teach it. And that's the problem. Anytime we're starting to dictate what can be taught and not taught anymore, there's going to get to a point where, hey, guess what? Church and state, we can't have a Christmas tree, or we can't celebrate Hanukkah. Could you imagine in Christmas, there's no Christmas break anymore? In fact, we're not giving you the day off. We're not going to give you the day off for this. It's only for government holidays, and Christmas violates church and state. It does. Because we acknowledge a day of religion. It's not, hey, this is...
The separation of church and state is that sentence in a letter. It's not in the Constitution. It's in a letter, I think from Thomas Jefferson, explaining how it's bad to let the government dictate the mandates of the religion. It isn't to keep religious influence away from government. It's to keep government influence away from religion.
Really? You think that's what it is?
I know that's what it is.
I could tell you this right now. With as many people, religion is dangerous because we pick sides. And we don't even know the religion we're choosing. We don't even read the books that we're supporting. Very few people have ever read the Bible. They've just been told what's in it, what it is.
What do you
For example, the 10 Commandments, there weren't 10 Commandments. There are like 600 of them. We just chose.
King James pared them down to the 10 most important.
The reality is this, is anytime we start dictating things on our moral level, it gets tough. But the same way, should we also have teachers force tough education on you?
I don't like the argument you're making because it's what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? It's a hand-wringing argument. We can do something.
Ratings.
And we can take the most offensive things and remove them.
Ratings.
We don't have to let everything in because we're afraid of offending some tiny little group of people. Yes, explicit pornography's not coming in.
What about David?
What about David? What?
I can see his penis. Statue of David. sit in front of you could Google it, you could do something. It's not considered porn. It's a statue with this guy's
Understood.
junk.
Yeah.
A junk statue.
But he's not bent over and taking it up
What if he was on his knees?
in front of another guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a problem.
Okay.
That'd be a big problem. Children shouldn't see that.
So what's it?
And
what
who
how
disagrees
old?
with that? Who thinks
What
that
age?
children shouldn't see
What
that?
age? You say children.
16.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, not
You
15?
can see that when you're 16.
Oh, 16. So
16, you're probably
so
mature
we'll
enough.
save the porn for the 16-year-olds.
Yeah, 16.
Okay. So in the library, there'll be the 16-year-old and old section.
Yeah, the high school.
Yes. So the rating system works.
Yeah, I think a
So
rating
we should have
system's fine.
ratings.
Yeah.
So
And
every
but that's what banning the book in a particular school is.
No, they're banning the
It's
book through the whole
rating.
school.
No, you can't have it. You can't go here to get this book.
You can't get it any book.
You can't rent. You can go to you can go to the public library.
No, the school
You can-
library.
That's the thing. The people who are arguing against these books being in the schools, those same books are in their community library in their town. So take your kid over there. If it's that important and you want your kid to see pornography, go to the regular library and check it out there. There you go.
You know what this
But
happens?
it shouldn't be in the school because the school should not be promoting that.
You know what happens? We start talking about, hey, don't teach biology. Don't teach history in the sense that we can't talk about the pyramids because being 5 to 10,000 years old, because you and I both know
They're older.
they're older than
They're a lot older.
AD and BC don't make sense.
They're a lot older.
So,
And
yeah.
they couldn't have built them by themselves.
Oh,
Impossible.
the aliens?
Impossible.
We're going aliens?
Couldn't have built
We're
them
going
by
aliens?
themselves. I don't know. All
We're
I
going to
know
get
is
banned from the radio.
all I know is they could not have done that themselves.
Yeah, I think precedent, there are people's argument are that precedent hasn't been set. The fact is precedent has already been set because we have pulled major literary books out of community schools based on how we feel politically, morally, religiously. So, it's just the way it is. It sucks. Vote the people out who took your books away.